Good morning. It's Monday. Are you ready for a long week? It's been a crazy weekend. Talk about chaos, right? What do I keep saying? Chaos creates political instability, which creates financial instability. Now, if you don't believe me, all you have to do is watch the news this week. Now, I want to say thank you. It's now my third episode of having coffee. As I say, morning coffee with Professor Alex. So, what happened over the weekend? What didn't happen over the weekend? It has just been one after another, whether Elon Musk has obtained personal information through the Treasury Department and Social Security. Basically, his people went in there and now they have access to our information. To be clear, Doge is a made up apartment. It's not a government um, anything. It's not an office. It's not real. It's just a private citizen who happens to own a social media company, and now he has your personal information. So, information is power, right? And information on everybody. How much is that worth? That's where we are now. If it wasn't that, here's another crazy one. We have all the emails, right, going out to federal employees. We now have, and this is what I'm going to focus on. Um, Trump has issued that he's going to remove what's called TPS, temporary permanent status, on 300,000 Venezuelans. Now, I'm from Miami. When I graduated from law school, I was working at Lennar doing closings as a closing agent. Lennar, the builder. There was a large amount of Venezuelans. It's not the majority of closings I did work for Venezuelans. Now, this was in Doral. Doral is within Miami. Doral is now where Trump owns his golf course. There was five golf courses there. Now there's four. One of them was made by Greg Norman. He converted that into condos, of course. But that's where we had the Blue Monster. All you people that love golf played there a couple times. Fun course to play. And so he has that location, that hotel in Doral. Now, that area has continued to grow since 1999, and it's a lot of Venezuelans. I can't say predominantly, but I don't know what the percentages are, but a lot. And I even taught at a school there. Now, that school, guess where the students were from? Mhm. Venezuela. When things were getting hot politically, they continued to move into the Doral area, and so this school predominantly is Venezuelan students. Now, here is where I say the snowball effect. If that's the case, and you remove 300,000 people, let's say half of them, let's say that, there's two in each residence. So let's say half of them live together. That's 150,000 apartments or homes that now have to be rented. Those are 150,000 cars that maybe they had bought that are just going to go back to the dealer as a repo. That's 150,000 bank accounts that are going to be closed. That's 150,000 less students going to school. Let's say it's even less than that. Who knows how many students there are actually? All that will affect the local business, right? So if there was a bakery there and the Venezuelans were going there because there was some sort of a pastry, guess what? They won't be going there. That will affect the business of the bakery. So I keep saying this is all a snowball effect, and I don't see the positive in any of this. Now, what I am going to focus on is illegal immigration, because to me we made it seem like they're the boogeyman, and I'm trying to figure out why for a long time. So this is what I came up with yesterday. In the 80s, when the whole issue, especially with Miami and cocaine, people were going to jail for long periods of time for having small amounts of cocaine on them or for cocaine use. The guy who partied on the weekend with cocaine or maybe was addicted to cocaine, is he really a criminal? I mean, seriously? Is this the guy that keeps you up at night because he's going to break into your house? No. Who does? The drug dealer, right? So at some point, they realized this and they created the drug court system. Actually, one of my law professors was integral into that. And the judge who ran that for decades down in Miami, I knew him, I worked with him before, Judge Rosnick. He did great with that program. Basically, the program was a second chance. You are a user. We're not going to throw you in jail and lock away. throw away the key and lock you in there for 20 years. Get through the program, succeed, be clean, random drug testing, etc. Get a job, do well, and we'll drop all the charges. Makes sense. Why destroy someone's life because they had, small amounts of cocaine on them? It doesn't make sense, at least not to me. So the drug court program, which is now probably used in every state, was very successful. Now, who is the bad guy in all this? It's the drug dealer, right? That's the one we have to. He's the source. He's the one who has what they need. That's the one we should be pursuing. So I look at it that way as well for illegal immigration. So the immigrants are the bad guy. They're the boogeyman. They're only coming here because they know they're going to get a job here. That's it. If there's no jobs, they won't come. Now, I understand the deportation's taking place, but is that really going to stop them from coming over? They'll get caught, they'll put back on a plane, they get sent over, and the process repeats itself because there's jobs here. So no administration, and I'll put up the source where I found this because I knew there was going to be civil and criminal penalties attached to this. But it seems on average, only 15 employers really get nailed when it comes to this issue. It is very rare that they're paying fines and that they're going to jail. Now I understand the legality of it. They have to go through the e-verify system. Not everybody does. If it is, maybe it's not checked up upon the government to make sure that these people are here legitimately. And so you might believe you hired someone after going through e-verify and find out that you didn't. You know who had that issue not too long ago? Go back 2 terms. President Trump. He wasn't using e-verify. He had a couple of illegal immigrants at his was it the New Jersey golf course? Go figure, huh? Well, here's my question. If we really go after the business owners and not this couple $100 fine, which I know could go up to like $22,000, why don't we just start at 10,000 if we can prove it, right? Just go straight after the business owner. If they get hit hard to the point that now you say, if I get caught with this, I am going to end up uh, bankrupting my business. And then what am I going to do to feed my family? Wouldn't that, in essence, stop this versus the average of 15 people that they go after, or 15 businesses every year? Wouldn't that really send a message so that when immigrants come here, they're like, there's just no jobs. Everybody refuses to hire us. Wouldn't that take care of the problem instead of spending the $88 billion that it seems that it's going to cost to pick up supposedly every single immigrant that's here and send them back to their country? Not to mention this creates the trade war and everything else. So the economic effect is who knows what. We'll figure this out at the end of the day at some point. Wouldn't that be a better system? Isn't that the best way to stop illegal immigration if that is really the concern? Then why are we not doing that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I think, like the drug dealer and drug court, we're going after the individual when the individual is just, there's jobs here. Why wouldn't I take this job? Versus going after the business owner. So I think if we went after the business owner, that would take care of all of these issues. My tablet turned off, but I think that's the best way to handle this because I think once you're like, I'm not doing that. The risk is too much for me. Why would I do this? I think that's where we get the message across. So that to me is the key. If we can do that, then maybe we can stop illegal immigration if it's such a big issue. Now, personally, I keep saying, you want to stop it, go ahead. But when you're paying $80 for a salad, maybe we'll learn our lesson. And I think we're about to learn our lesson real soon. What happened in the last 24 hours? Crazy. Someone had posted on social media, and I know it's a credible source, so I believed it. And then I just started seeing it in the news. With these tariffs, Canada has responded, and they've responded by pulling off their shelves bourbon like from Kentucky that's coming from those states into Canada off the shelf by Canadian. You'll see the signs now on in the news how they're just reacting quickly. You're going to give us a tariff, we're going to come after you any way that they can, and that's the first thing that they do. They'll start taxing more um, any products from Republican states. Think about that. The Canadians have stood up to President Trump. What have we done? This is the time now for Congress to react. And I'm not just talking Democrats, but also Republicans. Not doing like Mitch McConnell just did, where now he's on the news saying, yeah, I disagree with tariffs and Rand Paul too. Really? Really? Mitch McConnell is now backtracking on a lot. Why? Because he's near the end of his career. In his book, he bashes Trump. But like always, they always do it when they're walking out the door. They don't do it while they're there and they have the opportunity to make the change. So, of course, guys like Mitch McConnell are going to try to change history, but this is the chance for them to get something actually done. The fact that Canada is now reacting that way towards us, Mexico has done the same, only proves that this trade war benefits no one. No one. And again, why are we attacking Canada? Here's Trump has said so many times the issue of fentanyl. They got to stop fentanyl across the border. Yeah, fentanyl. Another sip of coffee because I need it for this one. Mm. I play golf, and yesterday I played 9 holes. My golf bag, it probably the PGA Tour pros probably it's about the same, but I stuff it with so much stuff. I'm not carrying the bag, so it doesn't matter. So my bag I know weighs 40 pounds, more or less, right? That's how much fentanyl is coming across the borders from Canada. 43 pounds is what came in last year. That's what we're fighting a war over, a tariff war for 43 pounds of fentanyl. I posted a long time ago when Trump kept saying this fentanyl. I go, since when are Canadians known as drug dealers? It's just that's not their it's not in their history, right? I've never heard of this, and I guess I was right. 43 pounds. But those 43 pounds or whatever's ticking off Trump is what ultimately is going to cost you. I have plenty of blogs and plenty of videos you can look up where I talk about this issue of the tariffs. The tariffs are clear. It is a tax, and everything is going to get more expensive. Even Fox News had a point where they were scrolling through everything is going to cost you more, from cooking oil to cars to avocados. So you're going to pay for this more out of your pocket. And that's always been my concern, that if our expenses go up and we don't make more money, and it's hard to make more money, right? You have your income, whatever, that's what you make. Then your next option is to cut your expenses. Where are you cutting your expenses from? That's also not easy. That's why you have a budget. And now, if your expenses don't go down and your income doesn't go up, what happens? Your debt goes up. And that's what I've been talking about the whole time when it comes to these tariffs. This could result in all of us getting in more debt for something we didn't ask for, something we don't want. We didn't ask for a trade war, right? That's not why President Trump was put in office. We didn't ask for Elon Musk to go inside all these treasury departments, all these other, and create all this chaos that he is creating. By the way, firing all those people, forcing all those people to quit, how do you replace them quick enough, right? Someone competent. How do you get someone in there competent quick enough to take over? Here's the answer. You do not. Those people have to be trained. They have to learn the system, whether they're already within the federal government or whether they're just coming off the street as civilians and now working for the federal government. All those people that get hired, or actually all those people that get fired, right, or take the buyout, what happens to their personal finances, right? This increases the foreclosures in their neighborhood, property values go down. Again, it is a snowball effect. Where all this is going, your guess is as good as mine. Unfortunately, I think we're looking at inflation we have not seen in a while. I don't make this stuff up. A lot of it is just based on common sense and my experiences, but also based on everything I read. I do not find economists say, maybe because I even paid attention to what he says. I don't pay any attention to what he says, but Peter Navarro, he probably has some weird theory on why this is a good idea. But he's a convicted felon, so I really don't care what he has to say, because he's just another Trump loyalist. But other than him, where is the benefit to you? So this is why the question continues to be, how are you going to be prepared? If chaos causes political instability, we're already seeing that. It's only been 2 weeks. We're starting week 3. And political instability creates financial instability. These people are already rich. We're not. So, what are you going to do? I don't know, but you have to do something. You have to be prepared. What is the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario. Let's say I'm wrong, right? But you saved up some money, right? Is that the worst thing that happens? Not a bad thing at all, right? You can use that money for whatever you want. You can go take a nice a cruise, go down to Miami, leave the port of Miami, go to the Bahamas for a few days. That'll be fun. Or you can save it, invest it, put in your 401k, IRA. I don't care what you remodel your bathroom, whatever you want to do. That is the worst case scenario if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, then it's going to get nasty. All right. So be prepared. All right. Any questions or comments, please let me know as I finish my cup of coffee here. It is Monday. One final thing I want to say about Mondays. I've always taken Mondays as the approach that I can hit the reset button or not. And what I mean by that, last week was bad. It was a little chaotic last week. It was actually chaotic every day. All you can do when Monday comes around, hit that reset button, say, I'm going to start all over again. This is my opportunity. Opportunity for whatever it is you need to do, whether it's to go to the gym more, save more, whatever you have to do. If it was a good week, you don't have to hit the reset button. You keep pushing that momentum forward. So it's going to be positive no matter what. All right. Questions, comments, reach out to me, post them, please. Be safe out there, be careful, and be prepared financially. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.